Hello and welcome to Retro Reviews, and I am really excited about today's topic. We're going to be talking about a potential price decrease on the PlayStation 5 line of consoles. I've been covering things like Microsoft raising the prices of their consoles. Sony raised the prices of the PlayStation 5 early on, a couple years ago, I think at this point, and the Switch 2 is reported to maybe have a price increase in the near future because of tariffs and global economy conditions and everything. So there's a lot to be worried about with gaming right now in terms of pricing and everything. And Sony has been the last to respond in this wave of new prices. So if you're not up to speed yet, Switch 2 gets announced. There's a lot of excitement around it. They don't talk about the price in the Switch 2 Direct, and then all of a sudden they come out after the Direct saying it's going to be $450 or $500 for the Mario Kart 8 bundle. Mario Kart 8 is going to be $80 for a physical version, and it's just a lot of expensive stuff for this new console. Not long after that, Microsoft comes out and says, hey, we're actually raising the prices of our consoles, so an Xbox Series S is going up $100 as well as the Series X. So instead of spending $500 for a Series X, you're spending $600 now for a console that's in the middle of like the generation or even toward the end of the generation at this point. And they're raising their prices to $80 for their games as well. So that's the up to speed now, what's going on. And Sony, like I said before, were the last to respond in this instance here. So Nintendo kind of started the wave. I'm sure it was kind of already going that way anyway with $80 games. It's just kind of feels like things are getting more expensive. But Sony had not yet done anything about it. But apparently, due to a new report and a state of play, Sony is prepared to drop the price of the PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 5 Pro as well. This was in euros here. They didn't give any specifics about US pricing, with the exception of one that I'll talk about in just a second. But they're dropping the price of the PlayStation 5 Pro for the first time by 50 euros, going from 800 to 750. And the price of the standard, like the disc version and the discless version, by 100 euros. I believe it was 550 to 450, and then I think it was 450 to 350 for the discless version. Huge things if true, like 100%. They even talked about a Black Ops 6 bundle. I'll have like a digital version of it for $450 in the US. They were talking in US dollars, so I'm assuming it's US here, which is a significant discount. Like if you're looking at that, that's likely meaning that in the US they would discount it under $100 as well. Go from 500 or however much it is now. I think it's actually over 500 at this point, down to 450 for a disc version, including Black Ops 6. So that's a pretty exciting change here. Like I said before, the industry is trending in a direction that's not super exciting for consumers. We're seeing Microsoft increase their prices over time. Nintendo Switch, the Switch 2 very much in jeopardy of raising their prices down the line as well. So to see Sony make this move is really encouraging. Sony is in a really great spot this generation. The PlayStation 4 put them ahead of Xbox by a ton. The Switch has sold extremely well, but between the PlayStation 3 coming back and making a really good, strong appearance toward the end of the generation, and then PlayStation 4 doing so well, Sony have been doing well pretty much the entire time they've been in business, with the PlayStation 3 being their low point, and they sold about 90 million consoles that generation. So not much of a low point at all. I guess you could say the Vita is their low point, but I don't think that was the most important thing to them. I think that their home console sales have always been their bread and butter. And to see them in such a strong position with the PlayStation 5, I was worried that they would absolutely raise their prices even more than they already had. Like I said before, the PlayStation 5 initially started off at $500 and $400 here in the US, and I think they bumped them up by not a ton, but by like 30 or 40 bucks, which was a pain in the butt. You don't want to see prices go up over time for consoles. You want to see them get a console refresh and the prices go down. Well, looks like we're finally getting that. And I think this is a strategic move from Sony. They don't have a ton of stuff going super well for them right now. Besides, like, their PlayStation 5 sales have been really good. They've been really strong, but they're starting to get to a point where things are stagnating because they don't have a lot of new releases to really hype up their new release, to hype up their consoles at the moment here, especially with the PlayStation 5 Pro. I think it went out pretty poorly. I don't think it was received incredibly well. Some people did buy it, of course. It was just way too expensive. So to see that even drop by $50 is a good step in the right direction. And to see their other line of consoles go down $100, Again, if this is the case, that's huge for the industry, because that means Sony is taking it to Microsoft and Nintendo and saying, you know what, we're gonna slash our prices. You guys are raising your stuff. You guys are talking about raising your prices. We're gonna bring them down. And I think if they can really stick the landing here, they don't commit to $80 games anytime soon. I guarantee if they say, you know what, our first party releases are staying at $70, the goodwill from the consumer's perspective, they're going to win it immediately. They're going to say, absolutely, we're sticking with our Sony stuff. Heck, if they announce a couple new exclusives coming to their PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 5 Pro that aren't just remasters of their older games, I think they start to bring it back in a huge way. I think sales will go really well for the PlayStation 5. I think we'll see an influx of the player base there, and we'll see a lot of new people saying, yeah, I'm gonna go for this because Sony's the one lowering their prices and keeping prices competitive at a time where it's not much of a, like, we don't have the luxury money to just be going out and buying consoles. So I think this is a huge move. So again, if the state of play information is correct, they're going to be lowering the prices very soon on the PlayStation 5. So if you're planning on it, maybe hold out just a little bit longer here, because it looks like a price drop is incoming. And I do think this is Sony's way of stepping up and saying, you know what, we're going to compete in the market more fully, and hopefully have some surprises for us at the state of play to really intrigue us and interest us in the PlayStation 5 again. I haven't been super excited about a new release for the PlayStation 5, with the exception of Ghost of Yotei, that I'm really excited about. I loved Ghost of Tsushima. Outside of that, I don't have a lot to look forward to on the PlayStation right now. First party release at least. I'm mostly looking forward to second and third party releases. So to see them come out, lower the price, and hopefully release a couple new, some new announcements here and say, we're committing to the $70 price tag, we're not raising to $80. If they don't say anything, we can assume they're going to stick with the $70 price tag. I think that they can win a lot of goodwill. It'll at least be really exciting for me. I will absolutely be backing Sony at that point, because I like to give my attention and my hard-earned money to the person that's going to be giving me the best value. And if Sony does this, I think that will absolutely be it. So again, if you're holding off on a PlayStation 5, you've been waiting for a while, hold off a little bit longer. It looks like they're going to be dropping the price and hopefully competing more fully in the market. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think. Are you excited about this? Do you think this is going to be good for the market? Do you think this will push their competitors to change their pricing structures? Hopefully so. That's my hope, at least. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.